What were you playing on streaming anyway?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh no, not him. You. I didn't know
Oh,
if you.
yeah, I will send you the link now. I should be live now.
Cool. I didn't know if you're playing doing Battlegrounds SOS or something.
Nope, doing something completely different. It's a good
Cool,
change.
cool.
It's a good change of pace. You will thank me later. Copy link to trust.
Done. Get my Titan crystals and or whatever, all my crystals. Ooh.
Cause I don't know where the Ninja's dumbass is. I posted in my VC. Um, let's check out.
Go eat McNugget.
Let's take a look here. What's up, guys? We should be live now on YouTube. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet right now because I'm kind of self-promoting myself real quick. And we will begin shortly. Doing something different for a different pace for today. And we'll go from there. See how long this takes us, and well, we're doing one class today. See how long this takes, and so I can kind of get the gist of see going forward if we can either do one class in a stream or we can do two classes possibly going forward. This is just kind of it's a testing of maybe I'd like to do two possibly classes going forward to get all the classes done sooner rather than later. But we'll see how long this takes. So not trying to rush it or anything, but we'll see. Let's take a look.
Okay, so it's got all the champions and the list there.
Yep. Kind of just got to play around with it, I guess. Let's take a look. Let's have Streamlabs open. What's up, Trill? See over here.
Oh, I just said their list. Stupid autocorrect.
That's funny.
Supposed to say tier list.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Unlike some people, I get it. Okay, so we are doing the skill class today. We're going to drag all the characters up, and I'm going to start ranking them. And because I know it's going to take some people to probably take a few minutes for them to get their notifications, or for them to hop in, that's fine. Because I understand people have their own lives, and I'm starting kind of stream, kind of like starting later than I'd like to, but I don't think this would take too long. That's the hoping. So kind of probably the reasoning why I'm kind of starting a little late, but it's fine. On that note, let's take a look at this. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up and May real quick. So I just have the class. Okay, and use that as a reference. Okay, so let's start. What's up, Sonica? So yeah, we're gonna do a tier list, and on the skill class, and to start ranking random characters. Okay, well, this is an easy decision. Let's start off with Daredevil, OG Daredevil, automatic D tier. I think he's complete basuda. I know there's a few fans of him out there, but I think he's ugly, so the ugliest bunch for sure. What's up, Blizzard? Yeah, it goes a little crazy. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Hold on. Thank you for somebody saying something. Is that a little bit better, chance? Testing, testing. Does that sound a little bit clearer, by chance? Okay. What's up, Blizzard? think it's first time in a while, or first time ever, and you've seen the stream. Welcome, welcome. Let's take a look here. Let's go with Gwenpool. I think she's interesting. I think she's got some use. I think she's kind of outdated, but at least she's better than OG Daredevil. So I have to give her for C tier, at least for now. Let's get similar to the meme tier champions in this class first. So let's do Punisher. Obviously, he's a rare character. There's nothing really special about him. He's a deer character. Like, yeah, he's a trophy champion. He's exclusive as a 6-star. He's kind of a hard to get normal character to begin with, but yeah. Is it my end, possibly, you're hearing? Yeah, I'm trying to, like, figure out stuff still. This is a normal, this is a different, I haven't streamed on this in a long time, so I think this is a new thing for me on this one at least. Hello, testing, testing. Is that a little bit better by chance? Please confirm or deny in chat, please. That would be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, until we wait for somebody else to say something in chat, or to try to fix the audio, we're just gonna continue on. Let's go to Nick Fury while we're at this. I think I have to put him in A tier. I don't think he's outstanding as a skill champion, but I also don't think he's like the best either. I know some people think he's the top of his class. I disagree. I think he's very solid, very safe, good two-way. I do think he does benefit from Deep Wound significantly. Yes, I know, Trashman Joe. Yes, it is real. Hence the thumbnail. I must be dreaming. I don't know, Joe. You tell me. Radical, you're crazy, bro. Oh, let's go, Joe. Trash Radical, I see you over there. Okay, let's put this in that. So we're gonna put Elektra in D tier because I think she's absolute basuda. I know some people are also fans of her. I think she's complete garbage personally, and I think she's completely outdated. I think she could use a tune-up and a buff for sure. But let's see here. Let's catch up on chat. Don't let Gerald see the start of this tier list. It's okay. Yeah, let's take a look here. So with Falcon, I hate to admit it, I have to give him B tier. As much as I don't want to give him credit at all. God, I hate the guy so much. Hitmonkey, I'm gonna give A tier. I think that's a good start for Hitmonkey. I think Hitmonkey's got a lot of usages. I think he's better than Falcon. But Falcon is, as much as I hate to admit it, he's got a lot of stuff in his kit, but he's just too boring and too slow for it, in my opinion. Zemo better not make it any higher, Fury. Bro, you already know who's gonna be S tier. Come on, let's be real here. If you know me at all and know the channel at all, you already know I'm putting S tier. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to Killmonger. So I think this is an interesting change of pace. I think I have to put him in B tier. I think he's a little outdated, but I think he's got good stuff in his kit to help him in his class, and I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's got a lot of stuff in his kit, so he's a viable attacker. But is he the most optimal attacker? I don't think so. Practically, you know what's gonna happen. But shout out to finally doing tier list. Hey, it's not like you guys were kept chewing me out for the past months and months for doing this. I will be trash, Joe. You're trash. Trash. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's let's get him out of the way. Let's put him in A tier for now. Again, this is not final. These are not just a full disclosure, real quick. This is not their final place. I am just placing these characters here temporarily, and at the end we will go back through and see if anything needs to be changed. And because I know people are just continue to file in probably, and we'll go over the reasoning as we need to. Let's take a look here. I see Masakre's on there. We'll just put him on the list for right now. Actually, let's put Night Thrasher on here. He's another mid-tier character. Probably the same tier, C tier. I think he's more uses than these three people characters down here, but that's not really saying a whole lot, in my opinion. We all know he goes to R3 for BGs. Radical, what are you on, bro? Okay, let's get this full other disclosure out here. I think I have to put Karnak at the top of D tier. I think he's bottom of the barrel, but I think he's top of bottom of the barrel. Like he has more of a use, in my opinion, than Elektra and OG Daredevil, but that's not saying much. B McG would think otherwise on night. I know that's the thing, and that's fine. It's my tier list. It's not everybody. It's not the community's tier list. Thank goodness. Let's take a look. Yeah, same. Okay, let's scroll up. Let's take a look at this. I think I have to put Valkyrie in A tier. I think she's outdated because the AI has changed so much, but I still think she has a lot of solid usages still in this game. So I have to put her in A tier, at least for the time being. If she isn't an A tier, she'd be high B tier regardless. I think because I think she has more usages than Killmonger and Falcon does, but I don't think she's not as common anymore. Really, let's be real here. Let's go to the next character. Black Panther Civil War. Probably have to give him to D tier as well. Again, because he's kind of a defender. I have to place him ahead of OG Daredevil, but I still think he's pretty bottom of the barrel personally. Let's take a look here, and let's go with Aegon. Aegon is an interesting character. I don't like questing with him. If you're going into long-form content, he's good when you ramp him up, but unless you're really going the effort of getting ramped up, or unless you're getting purposely hit on purpose, I don't recommend using him otherwise. So, in general usage, I have to put him in B tier, but if it's long-form content, it's obviously S tier. But I'm gonna have to put him top of B tier. I just can't put him in A tier, and I just can't put him in S tier either. And I'm not putting him lower than that. Okay, let's go to the next skill champion on this infographic. Let's get this trash eye out of the way, aka Hawkeye. He's an interesting character. I don't particularly care for him, but I know he's got usages as much as I hate to admit it. I'm probably gonna have to put him in B tier. I really want to put him in C tier though. I don't know. I guess we'll just put him in there for the meantime. Yeah, he's probably gonna get ranked down, and what I mean by that is he's gonna probably get pushed down the B tier list, as in like toward the edge of B tier probably. Let's take a look here. Let's go with OG Black Widow. She's got some usages still. Do I think she's really relevant still in this game? No, not really. So I probably have to put her in the same tier as Night Thrasher, which is C tier. So I think that's a good placement for that. And then I guess I'm gonna go from there from that at least. And then, excuse me. Let's go to the next character. On this list, I see Netflix Daredevil's on there. I know he's got like 5 seconds of damage, so I don't really think he's all that as a character. I know some people are fans of him. I don't particularly care for him. Do I think he's better than Hawkeye? No. But do I think he's better than Gwenpool? No. So I'm gonna at least put him in C tier for now. At least he's not in D tier. So there's that, I guess. Let's go to the next character. Let's just pick a random skill. Let's take a look here. Let's do Jabari Panther. I think she's got a lot of interesting stuff in her kit. Do I think she's the best dealing skill? No way. Do I think she's the worst? No. I think she's solid, but can I justify putting her ahead of Gwenpool? I don't think I can justify putting her ahead of Hawkeye, but I don't think she's the worst either. So let's just put her in B tier for the time being. We can move around characters obviously later on, so let's just go from here. Just get a Misty Knight. I see Misty Knight down there. I don't really remember what her capability is on offense. It's been forever since I played her. She's an interesting character though. She's not bad. Do I think she's better than Jabari Panther? No way. Do I think she's better than OG Daredevil? Oh hell yeah. I might put her ahead of OG Black Widow. Let's put her in C tier. Yeah, I know she got some interesting stuff in her kit. Like she buys Cold Snap and she crits. But besides that, yeah, and a random evade and a blockable type of random stuff. But it's just a meh champion. Let's do Korg. He's an interesting character. I don't think he's the best character, but I think I have to put him ahead of. Netflix Daredevil. No, I have to put him in the same tier as Netflix Daredevil. Just for full disclaimer, I think Korg is one of the best skill champions in the entire game as a defender. I think he's a very tanky. He was one of my first ever rank 3 7-stars. I don't regret it. I have a Sig 89 rank 3 Korg. I think he's one of the best rank 3's options in the game once he's duped. I think he's one of the best kills 7-stars in the game when duped. And I think he's completely worth rank 3. Do I think he's that useful on offense? Yes. Would I recommend using him above other skill champions? No, because I do know that Korg does need a lot of synergy to be used. So for that purpose, I have to put him in C tier. But just for his full disclaimer, I do think he's the best, if not one of the best, skilled champions as a defensive champion overall, in the class, of course. Let's go to the next character. Let's take a look here. Let's pick a random character. Moon Knight. God, I don't know what to say about this. I think we have to put Moon Knight in D tier as well. I think he's bottom of the barrel, but I don't know what else to say about it. Excuse me. I think he could use a lot of love. I'd like Moon Knight as a character because I've played different Marvel games and I've liked Moon Knight in other games. I just never really liked him in MCOC. I like the potential of what he could be, but as of right now in the current state of the game, I think he's complete ass. Let's go to the next. Just pick another random skill on the tier list. Go from there. I see Moondragon's on here. I have to say I know she has uses, but where would I put her? I think I'd probably put her top of B tier. I think she's solid. I don't know if I'd put her in S tier. I know some people would put her in S tier, and I don't think I'd put her in A tier either. But I may put her in bottom A tier. I don't think she'd go any lower than that. Higher than that. Let's take a look here. Let's go to the next skill. Kind of go from there. Well, man, I think this is where we start. I think he's S tier. I think he's very solid 2A. I just recently took my 6-star to rank 5 for the Kermit meta. I think he's an interesting character because I feel like he's, in a way, people don't really use him like that. In this game, I actually like Moman, so he's an interesting character. I, he, I, I don't, I actually like Moman. I think he's the best champion that we've chosen so far for the S tier. I think he's better than Nick Fury personally, but that's me. Um, I think he's very solid 2A. Let's just go to the next character. Um, pick our next skill, where I think they should be placed. Let's take a look here. See Stealthy down there. Let's go. I see Shield down here. Let's go Shield. I think we go just Shield and let's go from there. I think Shield is very solid. I think I have to put her in S tier. I will probably put. I'm just putting her there for S tier for now because we're still missing a lot of skill champions to put in the S tier, in my opinion. So for that reason only, I'm putting her for there for now. But let's move on to the next character. If you don't know anything about Shield, I think she's a very good 2A. She can apply bleed to your block and she purifies stuff. So people forget stuff about this and that from her, and so be prepared. And I think she's very versatile when she's duped. So I think she's a very good character in a way. So gotta go from there. Let's go for the next character. Let's go pick another skill champion. Give a little brief where I think they belong and why. Let's take a look here. Skill champion Shang-Chi. Let's take a look. Actually, let's see where he is now. I see Ronin down here. Let's move Ronin up. I know some people are fans of him. I've seen some work done with him. I think I have to put him in C tier. Let's put him top C tier. I think he's the best out of the C tier so far, but I don't think he makes B tier. I don't think he makes B tier. But I think he's got usage if you're willing to put in high risk, high reward. Do I think he's better than the other field champions that I named above so far? No. But do I think he's got some interesting uses? Yes. Usages. Sorry. Let's take a look. Let's go to the next skill champion. Let's take a look here. Skill. Oh, Mantis. I think she's a good character. I'm not a fan of her playstyle. I know she's pretty easy to use. I think I have to put her in A tier. For sure ahead of Valkyrie. Because you still get used to still this day. Maybe top of A tier. Let's go with this for now. So I'm moving Hitmonkey above Nick Fury because I think Hitmonkey is a glass cannon on defense, but I think Hitmonkey is a better 2A. And yes, you can say Nick Fury is a 2A too, but I think he's more of a 1A. That's a defense mainly. I think he's not a bad offensive champion. I just think his main use is defense purposely, and Hitmonkey I think is a better 2A overall because I think he's a great attacker and I think he's a good defender too because you don't fight Hitmonkey regularly, so you get tripped up by his animations and forget stuff in his kit. But that's me. Again, we can obviously change things, so things will probably change later on, but as for the time being right now, let's leave it. Let's go with that. Taking a look here by the rose. Also Bloodstone. I think this is an interesting character. I don't think I'd put her in A tier but I think I'd probably put her toward the top of B tier. I think she's better than the rest of this down here, this rest of this bunch down here so far. But I don't think she's in the same tier as Kingpin or above so far. No. I think she's still a very solid character, don't get me wrong. I just don't think she's all that for the skill class personally. Let's go for the next skill champion. Let's take a look for our next skill. I think also Bloodstone is interesting too, especially when you're running suicides, because you can trap your opponent if you're not running a mutant. And she hits pretty hard in attack, so I think she's got usages for sure. I don't think she's better than Moondragon, but I think she's still pretty solid in general. Think we just skip to Masakre. No, let's do Shang-Chi. Let's go with that. I think Shang-Chi is solid. Where would I put him? I for sure put him ahead of Kingpin. I don't know if I'd put him ahead of Fury though. So let's put him toward middle of A tier for now. I think he's solid. I don't think he's the best of the best, but I think he's a very solid skill champion in general. I think he takes a little bit of ramping to get to his real damage, but I think his damage is pretty solid. Don't get me wrong, he gets a lot ramped quicker than someone like an Aegon or Killmonger or Valkyrie. But do I think he's better than what we have said so far? From what shows on the current tier list, no, I don't think so. But that's me. Let's take a look here. I know, Joe. It's crazy. Let's take a look here. I see Masakre down here. Where would I put Masakre? I think I have to put him in S tier, if not top of A tier. I think Masakre is a very good attacker. You can make the argument that he's not a bad defender either, because if you forget, some people probably forget that if you block his specials, he can do damage to your block, and that can very much punish you. Better than C or below. LOL. I agree. This is all except LOL. Hawkeye in B tier. Yeah, I just couldn't put him in the same tier as this other Ronin and all this other bottom trash so far. I think he's better, but I don't think he's better than on top of Beast. And I don't think he's gonna go any higher either. Let's take a look here. What else do we have to work with? Mantis only 8. I mean, only defense. She's okay, so I can see why. I'm not really a fan of her either. That's also why I'm putting her A tier. I don't think she's S tier, but I think she's A tier. Okay. Thor Ragnarok. Let's go with this next mid tier character next. I think Thor Ragnarok. Where would I put him? God, this really hurts to say this. I think I have to put him in B tier. I don't think he's bottom of the barrel, because I know he got buffed. I think he's better than Hawkeye. I think he's better than Ronin, sorry. I think he's better than Ronin. I don't think he's better than Jabari, and I don't think he's better than Hawkeye. But I still think he's solid. I think he's better than the rest of this trash skill bunch down here, personally. But, again, that's my opinion. Again, I could completely change him. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go Kraven. There's a lot of controversy with this character. He and Zemo got nerfed together, and Zemo is the reason why Kraven got nerfed with a root. Some people are still fans of Kraven. And there's people who do not really care for Kraven anymore. I don't think he was ever bad, but I've never thought he was really crazy good either. I think I have to put him above the Ragnarok, but not much higher, in my opinion, for now. Let's keep going. Who's the next skill we can pick? Trying to avoid some of these skill champions to save them for last. Let's take a look here. Am I missing anything else before we get into the good character? What I consider the good bunch of the skill class, or what most people consider the good bunch of the skill class. Okay. Let's take a look here. Wait, what's up, Tro? For real, Misty too low. Nah, Joe, she belongs right right where she belongs. Okay, let's go with this other mid-tier character called Taskmaster, or what shall we call Trashmaster. He's got usage, but I don't think he's better than Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna have to put him right next to Ronan. Joe, I think you're crazy if you're saying nah for Misty Knight. Um, Hold on, I'll do you one better. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look here. Okay, for skill, let's continue on with the tier list. Kind of go from there. See if we get some other mid-tier skill champions out of the way before we knock out the good bunch. Let's take a look. Do I see any other skill champions that are mid? Oh yes, Winter Soldier. How can I forget Winter Soldier? Wow. Now let's go with Trash Sable first. Where would I put her on this list? Yeah. I think I have to give her C tier. I don't think she's great, but I think she's better than this bunch down here, in my opinion. And I heard she did get announced today, and if you guys already know already, she did get announced that she is getting buffed in the buff will be live in January 2025. So be prepared and look out for that. So I think I have to give her C tier. I don't think she's higher than that, but I don't think she's lower than that either. Moman S tier, but not Fury. Interesting. Joe, if you rewind the stream, I said my reasoning why. I said I think Moman is better 2A, and I think Moman has better damage because you can ramp his damage faster with Fury with Moman than Fury. Because Fury, you have to really get to a second life to see his really good damage, and Moman doesn't really need deep wounds to see the max potential damage that he can do. Where with Nick Fury, you kind of need deep wounds just so you can see some good damage, top of the second life, really. So that's my reasoning for that. Let's take a look here. Any other mid-tier skill champions can get out of the way? Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Trash. Let's go for Winter Soldier first. Excuse me. I think... God, I have not used this guy in a tech in a long time. At least Winter Soldier's got bleed for going for him. So at least I have to give him C tier. I'm not putting him in D tier. not as of right now, at least. It's possible he could end in D tier, but in the long term, and in the short term, we'll leave him this for time being. I disagree, but that's fair. I know you do. Missing mid Joe. Anyway, Agent Venom. So, Agent Venom by himself, I think he's garbage. But I think with synergies, he does get improved. So, for the benefit of the doubt, I have to give him above Aegon. But I don't think he goes lower than that, and I don't think he goes higher than that either. Actually, by himself, I think he's lower, but because he's with synergies, I think he's higher. If that makes sense. I wonder where Crossbones will ends up. Joe, you know me. Let's be real here. I put it in the thumbnail for a reason, dude. Legs dropped. It's about damn time. Trash Rizzo. You're 35 minutes late, Trash Rizzo. Excuse me, I mean Chad Bones, as you call him. Yeah, he is the Chad. What are you talking about, Joe? What are you talking about, Joe? He's the total Chad Bones. What are you talking about? Let's take a look here. What other we'll see what other kind of skill champions we should put it in the tier list first, so we can get to the good part of the skill class. Okay, let's go with Bullseye. I see Bullseye's down here. I think Bullseye. I don't think he's the best 6-star, but I think when 7-star came out with the stat focus, I think it helps him out significantly because he already has good crit rate, so the crit damage rate is nice for him. So you really do notice the difference between a 6-star and a 7-star ranked up, and there's all sorts of footage on YouTube nowadays with him. So I think I put him right next to Nick Fury in A tier. I don't think he's higher, but I don't think he's lower either. This is real mid-eye, let's be honest. How can it be? This respect. You actually be trashing him, but you gave him respect. Good job. Yeah, I can't put him any higher. I can't put the Justify putting him any higher, but I can't put him any lower either. I as much as trash talk I do give him, I do admit he has usages, but I don't. For some of the stuff that he has in his kit, I don't think he's the most optimal use for it, in my opinion. But that's me. Anyway, let's keep going with the skill. Bro got Black Panther, Civil War, and Karnak in the same tier. This tier list is trash. Bro, I see. See, Black Panther Civil War. I know you have his black. I know you have a soft spot for Black Panther Civil War, and that's okay. But I think because Black Panther Civil War is not a really good, valuable attacker, where at least Karnak is kind of a viable attacker, as much as I don't think he's a good attacker. At least one has optimal is at least a one-way, where the other one's just not really a one-way at all. Keywords being so far. We're not being biased. Why Cork so low after you was on your... Okay. So, Rizzo, you're welcome to rewind in the stream. I said this about 10 minutes ago. I said I like him overall as a defender. I think he's top of S tier. I think he's top of his skill class as a defender. But because he is not an attacker, I think he's purely a defender, really. I think he's as low as he is for now. I know with synergies he does improve on offense, but as of right now, I just can't justify putting him any higher for the current state, at least. So I do think Korg is S tier in terms of defense wise, and I think he's top of his class, especially when duped as a 7-star for defense wise. I love my rank 3 Sig 89 Korg. Don't regret it, and I love every 6 stone I gave to him, and I think he's a great skill champion. Would 100% recommend if they have a duped Korg to rank 3 any day of the week for defense. But for offense, I think he's garbage, basically, unless you're auto fighting, because I think he's great because your opponent's gonna take damage back, and you don't have to deal damage to your opponent for them to actually auto fight with him. But on questing so far, I just can't put him that high because of general questing. Any other skill champions down at the bottom? Down here. Anybody else? Thing over Korg confirmed. Joe, you're biased. Get your crap out of here, bro. This is my tier list. No, I don't think Thing is better than Korg. I think Thing is a lot more counterable. I respect people's decision why, but I don't think people understand really the true power of what a ranked Korg can do, personally, until you run into more ranked Korgs yourself. So let's go for that. take a look above. Do we see any other skill champions that are mid? They should just knock out all the way before I start getting to the better part of the skill class. Okay. It's a good handful of skill champions left. Okay. Let's go stealthy. If you know anything about my channel, if you know anything about me, I have to put him top S tier. I love stealthy so much, and I think stealthy is one of the best attackers in the entire game. And he's doing stupid fights in Kirby meta. Like, he's doing fights in under 40 seconds, even under 30 seconds right now in Kirby meta with the right character. I think he's very versatile because he's guaranteed crits. He has different pre-fights, so he does a lot of usages. He's a really good character to practice intercepting with. He's a very good character to learn. What's up, Truth Comic? Like Z mid, you're trash. Get out of here, Truth. Get out of here, Truth, with this crap, bro. And so bias kicks in. That's funny. Two-way over one-way for me. I got Thing above Cork because Thing is actually good on offense. No, I get it, but again, this is not science. This is not the science ranking. This is the skill class ranking. Okay. Let's take a look. What other skill champs we can put in here. Okay. So I see up above here. I saw somewhere. Let's put the Tuma. So Tuma's an interesting character. I think Tuma is a viable attacker. I don't care for his play style particularly. I know he's a great defender, and I think he's one of the best defenders in the entire game, especially at a rank 3 level. I think he does need to be at least SIG 20, not even SIG 40. I can't put him higher than Valkyrie because I don't think he's better than that as an attacker, but I think he does deserve to be in B tier because he's a two-way. Very solid two-way. I think he's better defender than attacker, but I still think he's a viable attacker nonetheless. Do I think he's higher than all these other characters? Probably. But do I think he's higher than what we have ranked so far? I don't think so. No way. Okay. Let's go to the next skill champion. Black Widow deodorant, because I think she stinks. I think she stinks as a character. I know she just entered the Titan pool. I know a lot of people are really devastated when they pull the 7-star. I know this guy named his name Council of Sherbones has multiple accounts, and one of his accounts took his he got her out of the Titan yesterday and took her basically straight to rank 3. So I know people are fans of her. Do I think she's top of her class? No. But do I think she's better than other characters? Yes. I think we have to put Moondragon in B tier. And I think we have to put Thighs in B tier. And Moondragon A tier. Let's move up to A tier. Let's move Black Widow trash to down to B tier. Baby is awake. How nice beer be. That's funny. Yeah, you're good, Rizzo. I understand you're busy. Let's take a look here. What other skill champions we can start naming here? Before it starts getting interesting. Let's go with Blade. Where would I put him? Actually, let's go with Black Panther first. I think Black Panther is a good character. I think he's a very solid character, but I don't know if I can justify putting him over this bunch on the left-hand side. So I think I have to put him below Shang-Chi, but I still have to put him mid of A tier. So I still think he's very solid. Does Black Widow Dealer do more BG matches than Z-Mid? I disagree. Because there's so many shocking me fights or champs that shrug off nowadays. Truth, I don't think there's no even question about it. I still think she has good damage, but that's that's if you can that's if you can do shocks to your opponent. But if you can't do shocks, not even worth it. Hmm. Skill. Oh, Squirrel goes down here. I forgot about her. Um. Squirrel goes for character. Oof. Where would I put her? Maybe ahead of Hawkeye? I'm not sure. God, this is rough, bro. I think she belongs in B tier, but where in B tier, I'm not sure yet. It's either I'm gonna put her where she is now between Killmonger and Hawkeye, or she's gonna go right next to Craven between Jabari and Craven. Because I can't put her in the bottom of what we have ranked so far, but I just can't justify putting her in the top of the skill ranking up here in A tier and above. I just can't. Um. Okay. See who we want to do next. Black Cat. I think Black Cat is a fantastic champion. I think she may be better than Shield. I think it's higher risk, higher reward, but I think Shield is safer to play. So in that standard, I have to put Black Cat ahead of Shield. I still think Shield is safe because Shield is a better two-way than Black Cat is, but because Black Cat doesn't need the really dupe to have good damage, I think I have to rank her higher purely because of that. I also am a fan of Black Cat too. Let's take a look here. Kate Bishop. I think we just continue with Kate Bishop because I believe we're doing most of the skill champions already. Where would I put her? She's S tier, obviously, but where in S tier? I don't know if I can justify putting her over Mole Man because I think Mole Man is a better overall. But Kate is very versatile, so I at least have to put her in S tier. As much as I get her crap and I don't talk about her because, as I think enough of the community already talked about her as is, and why would I play with a character that was well? Why would I give so much praise to a character that most of the community already gives so much praise about, and I rather shine the light on another skill champion like Zemo or somebody else that I think is just better overall. But I think she's very good in general. I think she's a great character to learn with the perfect release. The different pre-fights I think is very safe for her to do and whatnot, and makes her a lot more viable. So I think she's very solid. Do I think? I know you can make the argument saying that she's top of S tier. I don't think she's top S tier, but I think for where she is ranked now, I think she's for sure mid to S tier. Let's go with Blade. We said his name earlier, but I kind of forgot. I went with other champions first. Now would I put Blade? As much as I like the character, and there's a lot of Bleeding Moon characters, I have to put him lower. But I still think he's got usage in the game. So I don't know. I think I put him ahead of Elsa Bloodstone down here in B tier because he doesn't really need synergies. But do I think he's better than the rest of B tier so far? Yes, but I don't think he's. Do I think he's higher than what we have so far in S tier and A tier? No way. Watching from the tablet, I'm sent to Joe. LOL. Okay. Let's take a look here. Next skill champion. Where shall we continue? I think we just go with Zemo because I believe we've done most of the skill classes at this point. As y'all probably already know, I think I have a lot of bias towards this character. Obviously, hence my name on YouTube and across other platforms. I think my gamer tag at least. I think he's versatile. I think he has good synergies too. I know people don't like him. Most people do not like him in this community, and that's fine. I think he's very safe. And I like him with synergies. So for the pure fact of kind of bias, God, this is gonna hurt. You better not put him in A. Well, this is gonna hurt you too, Rizzo. I have to put him in S tier. Obviously, I have to put him in the face of the channel. I think he's obviously better than K Bishop. I think because of across the board, I don't think he's the best battlegrounds attacker, but I think he's the best bleed immune option there is in the game in terms of like if you need a bleed immune character. I think he's very good for that. I'm stupid. Typo on tablet. An S. It's funny. No, I think he was belong on S. Crossbones. Let's take a look here. Crossbones. Let me think about this. I think I have to put crossbones and the top of S tier. But where on this list? I don't know. Do I think he's better than Mallman? No, I don't think so. Do I think Crossbones has high risk, high reward in terms of his playstyle? Well, it's different though. Because, well, in a way, high risk, high reward. Because you have to, you basically want to intercept with him a lot, and you kind of have to manage your Furies and heavy to pause your Furies, to kind of keep your Furies up basically at all times. So, kind of a stressful playstyle, but very rewarding in the end. And he's very safe to use, and he's a very good character in general. I love crossbones. I love my rank 3 crossbones. I just don't know if I can put him above Stealthy and Mallman. He's for sure, I think, top 3 skill champions for sure. But I don't know if I can put him as number 1. I think that's good. Let's double check down below. I think we should have all the skill champions on the ranking so far. And then we can go over, see if there's any other changes we need to be made for the tier list, and we'll go from there. No, that should be all. Should be all the skill champions. Yeah, that should be all the skill champions. So let's go from there. Black Cat below Zemo. I know people disagree with that. I think Black Cat is a better bleeder overall. Yes, but I like Zemo overall better for champions who are bleed immune, and whatnot. So I had to put Zemo above. But do I think Black Cat's a better bleeder? Yes, but I don't think Black Cat's better for bleed immune champions overall than Zemo. No. What's up, Sure Bonds? I see you hopping in toward the end of the tier list probably, but let's just take a look here. She can do Bleeding Immune too. I know she can do Bleeding Immune, but I don't like her. And I don't think she's better for Bleeding Immune fights. I don't think she's better for Bleeding Immune fights, but I know she can still do Bleeding Immune fights. Like obviously I've done Bleeding Immune fights with her before, but I don't think she's better. And I don't think. But I think she's better. I don't get me wrong. I do think she's the better bleeder overall between the two, but because at least one can be a viable defender, where the other one I don't think really is, and one isn't really the best for Bleed Immune fights, even though she could still do it. I think Zemo's better for that. So for that reasoning, I have to put her lower. So I think it's a pretty good tier list overall. You don't value ability accuracy over reduction. Are you talking about? Are you talking about with? Are you talking about Black Cat? Yeah, I know she can fail abilities, and I know she has some stuff, but I don't think. But it doesn't matter with your bleeding mid characters because you're not doing the bleed damage, and I think she really gets most of her damage from bleeds. In my opinion, I know she does. It's not necessary, and I know she doesn't need it, but I know. I again, Rizzo, he's viable as a 2A. Do I think he's the best 2A? No way. Because because I know you don't want to rewind, but for anybody who's on the playback crew, if you do want to rewind, I did say, or if you don't remember, I did say early in the stream that I did say that I think Mallman is a better 2A for sure, because people forget that you can't hit through the block, and Mallman purifies stuff, so you can't really apply buffs to him and hoping that they last. So, and also he goes unblockable at a certain point too. So there's that. But let's. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's a pretty solid skill tier list so far. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so I just moved down. I just went down to D tier and moved Punisher above and Elektra above because I think Moon Knight and Daredevil, OG Daredevil, are bottom of the barrel. Yes, it is just a Basura gonna eat dinner and stream later, y'all. Later, Rizzo. But on that note, let's take a look here. So let's go to the different tiers real quick. So, I think any other characters need to be changed. I still think Karnak's D tier. I know he's got some usages, but do I put him justify over these other characters? I don't think so. But I think he's better than what he has down here at the bottom in the D tier class itself. Oh yeah, for sure. But more than that, I don't think I can give him more any credit, to be honest with you. Okay. Let's move on. So I know Trevor Sable is getting buffed, so I think she belongs in T tier. I don't think Korg is. I think he belongs in T tier as an attacker, purely because he does benefit from from a lot of synergies. I still think he's a viable attacker, but I don't think he's the best attacker either. I know he's good at auto fighting because at a high enough rank, he doesn't even have to get hit to hit. Well, he doesn't have to even hit your opponent, make contact with your opponent to actually do damage, because of the thorn damage that your opponent will take back. So if you're just auto fighting with him, he's actually a really good auto fight character to auto fight with, because he's very tanky, because he was unstoppable and unblockable, on top of being immune to a lot of things. but I just, as an overall attacker and by himself, I just can't put him any higher. But I think he's top of S tier for defense for sure. That's just a full disclaimer. But I think everybody above him at least has some use in terms of even at their max damage. I think they have something to offer over him. But as an offensive champion, at least, I think I might have to move Skrogro below Jabari. Yeah, I think so. I think I have to move Skrogro into between Craven and Jabari. I think that's a good way to finish off the B tier. I think that's a good placement. I think for top of B tier, I think I have to give it to Deadly Origin, much as Blackwood deodorant. As much as I really do hate her. I know she just got added as a 7-star into the Titan pool. I don't think she's better than the rest of the skill champions in A and S tier, but I don't think she's. I also do think she's better than what she has in her tier and everything below as well. But I don't think she's better what she has, but what's above her, no way, no way in hell. And now let's go to A tier. So you could make the argument saying Moondragon could be placed higher. I don't think she deserves to be placed higher. You could make the argument saying that Nick Fury does belong in S tier. I don't think Nick Fury belongs in S tier, because I think Nick Fury is mainly only a defensive champion. I know he's viable as an attacker. I just don't like him as an attacker, and I think he really has to get into a second life for you to see his real true damage. So for that reason, I have to put him in A tier. I think he and Monkey are pretty close. I think I'm gonna finalize putting Nick Fury at this, moving one spot up in the A tier list. What's it, Misery? We're talking about Misery. Wrong. You're trash. He just said wrong in general. He just typed wrong with all caps. So I don't. That's very broad. Very broad. Sir, please help me. Please help me understand what you're meaning by that. I'd love to hear your take while I'm still streaming. So yeah, I think. What's your face? I think Mantis is a good attacker, because I don't think she's really a defensive character. I had to put her in A tier. I think she's still a very good character, regardless. I guess you could make the argument saying that Nick Fury's maybe better because he's at least as an optional as a 2A, where he just really isn't optimal as a 2A. So I guess Nick Fury got even bumped up 2 spots. So I guess I'm putting Nick Fury at the top of his A tier, and that's final. I believe. I think it's final. I think he's top of A tier. I just can't justify putting him into A tier. Put him into S tier. Sorry. I think Zemo's the. So Chioth. It goes Chioth as bottom, then Masakre, then Black Cat, then Kate, then Zemo, then Moleman, then Crossbones, then Stealthy. Stealthy is a personal favorite. I've been using him ever since he's basically come out, and I think he's very versatile across the game, because you don't need to apply debuffs for him to do his damage. He's a high risk, high reward character, as he does fights very fast, and I think he has a lot of stuff in his kit with his pre-fights that he has, and I think he's very fun to play, because you don't want to you really want to intercept with him a lot with the intercept with Stealthy, so he's a good character to practice intercepting with. If you're not good with him at all, if you're not good with intercepting at all, I think he's a very good character to learn with. Kate, I know most people think that she's top S tier. I can't justify putting her in the top S tier. On this channel, we don't play with Kate Bishop really at all. I have her ranked. I just don't use her because I try to use other characters to shine them more over her. Um, again, that's personal choice. That's fine. But I know people disagree with me on this placement. At least I put her in S tier. I was really considering putting her A tier, um, or at least bottom S tier. But at least she made middle S tier. Um, 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 so yeah. So yeah, I think Stealthy, Crossbones, and Bowman are the three best skill champions in the skill class, followed by Zemo and Kate. Um, what's up, Samael? I think Kingpin deserves S tier. To be honest, I don't think he's. I don't think he was ever all that. I think he's good, but I just don't think he's really that much a defender anymore, and I don't think he's a very good attacker overall. Because I think what they have to offer above him, I think is better overall. But I also understand why people put him in S tier, or could make the argument for why he belongs in S tier. Um, I think personally Shang-Chi's better than Kingpin, but that's me. Hmm. I also Bullseye being A is absolute wild. I think I think Bullseye is a good two way because obviously he's a very stable defender, and I think he's still a good attacker. I do think he benefits from the 7-star stat focus because it does increase his damage as a because his crits are actually pretty solid, which is the normal precisions, which is the base yellow number because he already has yellow numbers, which is pretty good. But his crit rating is not critical damage rating. I don't think is very high. So a lot of people play the cruelty stat focus for him for offense. So I think that helps him a lot, and I think he does scale with boost, and I think he does scale with um, other stuff, and I think he's very safe. But do I think he's better in some of these? You can make the argument no. I think I may have to put Shang-Chi above him, but like I said, I don't think he's maybe I have to put Black Panther over him. But I think Bullseye does belong in A tier because I think Bullseye is more relevant in my opinion more than Kingpin. I think he's more relevant more than Valkyrie, and actually, let's move Atuma above Valkyrie because people don't really use Atuma like that. But I think he's at least better. And Valkyrie this current state of the game because of the AI is so wonky. But because Atuma is mainly a defender, but I think he's still a very good. I think he's a pretty still fairly solid attacker. Um, I think Bullseye is a good defender, and obviously good attacker. I think he does benefit from the 7-star stat focus, like I just said. But but rethinking it over, I think Shang-Chi does belong above him because of how good Shang-Chi's damage is. Um, I think he's a very good champion, high risk, well, not high risk, high reward. I think takes a little bit of learning in terms of with how his charges work. But when you get his charges built up, or even just some of it, he's got some really good damage. But I just can't justify putting him any higher because at least these other characters are at least two ways in some sort of way. So I just can't justify putting him any higher. But he did get he and Black Panther got moved up a couple slots. So at least there's that. Um, but just for the other disclaimer, I do think Atuma is A tier as a defender, just because purely for offense, I just can't put him in S tier because of I don't think he's all that for offense, but for defense, I think he's top S tier as well. I can see why Zemo would be an S tier once upon a time, but is he still? I cannot remember the last time I saw him in a BG deck, and he's more designed for long form content than regular questing. No, I get it. I use him with synergies and questing, so I still see the benefit from him. Um, and I like him for Bleeding Immune fights. I think he's the better Bleeding Immune fight out of these other characters that are above because he doesn't need the dupe for Bleeding Immune fights. But I think these other characters have more to offer in terms of when they're duped, um, or in general, if that makes sense. Because like I think Masakari is a good. I think he's a good character. Obviously, um, you just kind of have to get a feel of him because I think a lot of people don't realize that you actually had to hit into his block for damage, really good damage, and whatnot. But I think he's a very good character in general. I just, um, but I still use Zemo regularly, um, for the most part. I don't I don't use him for bleed champions. I use him for bleed immunes. But if it came up to bleeders, I still think he belonged in S tier, but I don't think he'd be where he is currently in the S tier list if it was for bleeds. I think he'd be bottom S tier for sure. That's where I think he would land for bleed champions wise. Personally, um, because I think there's a very good synergy with Zemo, with Phoenix, where your mediums and your basic attacks do incinerate damage. So you have a additional type of DOT that you can do on top of your bleeds. So you can do bleed and incinerate, and there's a lot of nodes in the game where you do more damage from incinerates or whatever, and so um, um, I think that's a very handy synergy for him. And also he has a synergy with himself where the more Zemos you have in your team, the more damage you're gonna do. So you could go that route as well. Um, so because of that, and because he's also one of my favorite top, one of my favorite skill champions in the game, on top of being my name, my gamer tag, at least, I think I have to put him where he is and leave him where he is. Um, but yeah, if you do have any, but I think that was all the skill champions. And we did that in a little over an hour. I need my Gargoyle to be buffed and released as a 7-star, the OG Bleed Queen. No, I understand that. I understand. I think she's very solid. Um, I think I think she could be solid 7-star as well. You should remake this once we see what the stable rework looks like. That is true. I probably will, at least for the skill class. I can't justify it with other classes. Um, I probably will at some point. But I want to do at least two other classes first. Um, so this as this class as a whole took me a little over an hour to do. So it didn't take me that long. So maybe going forward, I'd like to do maybe two classes in a stream. I think that's the goal. Um, when my next tier list will be, I don't know. Maybe next week, because I have some time off next week. So maybe I'd like to do one next week, possibly. Try to knock out two classes next week. What those two classes are, couldn't tell you. Not sure. I think I have an idea what I want to do. But I want to leave you guys surprised. So, on that note, if you guys have any questions on where I place these rank of these characters, you can rewind the stream. But thanks to everybody who did stop by. And thanks for Trill for being on call, even though he was kind of quiet. Um, you're good. That's Trill Will in the background, vaguely in the background. But shout out to him for always being on call with me, and him bearing with me. Giving as he always usually does, keep me entertained and whatnot. So I think I think I'm gonna call it there for the stream for tonight. I'd like to do stream possibly Saturday, doing some BGs. I don't know what my schedule looks like yet, so that might be bumped to early next week. But not sure yet. We'll see. But until then, I think I'm gonna call it there. I will see you guys around.